let's talk about the key features of graphs. These words that I'm going to use here in a second are some of the most common words that we're going to use, words and phrases that we're going to use all semester. So these are some that you want to acquire. You want to write these down. They're going to be important. And it's not so much of memorizing what they are, but more of hands-on understanding where to find them, where to look for them. And you're going to hear these all semester. So I really don't think memory is going to be an issue with this. This is just an introduction to those features. All right. So the first feature that we're going to talk about is the feature of an intercept. So an intercept, and all of these come from your list in your assignment. An intercept is where you cross some kind of line. So we have two x-intercepts in this function, 7, 0, and 0, 0. And we call them x-intercepts because they are intercepting the x-axis. All right. This function only has one y-intercept, and that's common because it's a function. It has only one y-intercept, and it's at 0, 0. So a point can be both an x-intercept and a y-intercept simultaneously, especially the point 0, 0. All right. So those are our intercepts. The next thing that's noteworthy of functions is we often talk about their highest points and their lowest points, all right? Except instead of saying the high point or the tall point, we say the maximum, all right? So this function has a maximum. If we say maximum value, we're really talking about the value 4. And that's because this function goes no higher than 4, right? That's the maximum value. So it's understood that we're talking about the y value right there. All right, when we look for the minimum, we're thinking down low. So we're looking for the lowest y value. The lowest y value is 0, so the minimum is 0, all right? If we wanted to say the minimum point, we could say 0, 0. The maximum point, we could say there's a maximum at 2, 4, all right? However, you know, this function, you can tell it doesn't just have one maximum. It's really flat, you know, in this whole area. We call this area constant, all right? So I'm just going over all of these terms. This is the constant part of a function. Feel free to write this down in your notebooks and label it, all right? A function can increase and it can decrease, all right? And, you know, as far as I know, we all read left to right. So that would mean that this red part of the function is increasing, all right? Because when we go from left to right, our cursor is going up. So this is the interval. Interval is a piece. This is the interval that is increasing, all right? And in the second domain interval, and I can call them domain intervals, in the second domain interval, let's say from 2 to 5, excuse me, in the domain interval 2 to 5, our function is constant. And in the domain interval 5 to, where does it stop? 5 to 7, our function is decreasing, all right? So those are all some of the common terms, and they're very straightforward, but that is what you need to know to start the lesson.